allow me to warmly welcome you to this beautiful country called Uganda. We heartily congratulate you on your appointment as the new UN Resident Coordinator and look forward to working together with you to achieve our country's development aspirations for the people in this part of the world. As you have been briefed by now, the SDG Secretariat was specifically selected to organize this inaugural meeting for significant reasons. Whereas the government works with the UN in Uganda on a wide range of development projects, for which we commend and appreciate the continued support and cooperation. The Secretariat is officially a brainchild of the government and the UN in Uganda, led by your office. So I want to thank your predecessor, who worked with us and were able to register milestones. So welcome you once again to this country, and we want to congratulate you. In 2016, after adopting the SDGs, Uganda put in place a national SDG coordination framework and later launched a national roadmap to operationalize the framework. In 2018, the Office of the Auditor General assessed Uganda's readiness to move ahead with the implementation of the goals and reported that while some important mechanisms had been put in place, we still needed to put more structures and systems in place for us to achieve much. The recommendation was therefore made to the government, and institutions have been set up to steer the implementation. The cabinet then appointed the Minister for General Duties as the focal person for the SDGs, and soon after, with support from the UN Resident Coordinator, established the SDG Secretariat. The Secretariat's technical staff are supported by the UN agencies, including UNDP, UN Women, and UNCDF, with direct supervision from your office for the communication specialist. Very importantly, many of the Secretariat's activities, which are geared towards coordination of the implementation and achievement of the SDGs, also receive technical and financial support from your office. Your Excellency, to list the milestones and achievements in Uganda's SDGs journey, we have had the United Nations in the co-driver's wheel, which is a tall order, but permit me to mention because it's not simple responsibility. As a non-state actor in the coordination framework, the UN have been very active in the work of the various technical working committees that were set up. The United Nations, coordinated by UNDP, played an instrumental role in development of Uganda's first SDG roadmap, and more recently, the new one, which will run alongside our National Development Plan 3 and will be launched in August this year. The UN was instrumental in Uganda's compilation and presentation of our second voluntary national review report, which was presented to the UN High-Level Political Forum in July 2020. The United Nations 2021-2025 Cooperation Framework is hinged on sustainable development, and indeed the theme of the framework is well aligned to Uganda's new national development priorities. The Uganda Private Sector Platform for the SDGs was created in partnership with the UN and the private sector, Uganda. We have witnessed enhancement in data collection and dissemination with support from the UN in Uganda. The role of the youth has been amplified through direct collaboration with the UN Resident Coordinator's Office by establishing and supporting the Youth Coalition. We shall have more discussion as we work to improve on this, because this is a very important element in our community, and all the time, because we have been supported to have immunization, so the fruits every year people add on qualified to become youth, leaving the other bracket of the children. Communication and awareness raising have been greatly supported by the UN through localization and outreach programs to reach out to the MDAs, local governments, civil society, private sector, academia, the media, and a whole range of special interest groups, including communities in hard-to-reach areas, where we have majority are women and children, but also we have minority groups like people with disabilities. Let me highlight some of the government's own priorities in achieving the SDGs. A key message we have consistently and we will continue to share with the stakeholders is the challenges exacerbated by COVID-19 pandemic. This can only be solved by implementing the SDGs, because SDGs are so comprehensive and also covering whatever corner has been affected, or individuals or sections of the community. Therefore, even as the government continues to find solutions to immediate challenges, the ultimate goal is to stay on track to achieve the 2030 agenda, which espouses the long-term solutions. The government has continued to assess our existing national initiatives and strategies. We are now working on achieving our NDP through programs. In addition to our existing strategies, we are now laying emphasis on the parish model, parish development model. The practical support from the UN will be important at this point, because the parish is from quite a number of villages, usually between 6 and 12 constitute a parish. Then from a parish we move up to a sub-county, then a county and district. But we had based all our statistics, data collection, planning at the district level. Some had gone to the parish sub-county level, but we took a decision, both as the NRM party, the party in leadership, and the government, that we now bring the unit for data collection, planning, and also interventions. It's an accountability center to both the community, but also with the political leaders and the technical leaders. So teams are going to have been constituted at that level, and we are beginning this financial year. So you've come in at a time where we've come up with what we think is the best to be accountable, but also account for all the households in that particular area. And the lowest is the parish, that's why we have gone to that. The government has continued to assess our existing initiative. As we continue to raise the profile of leaving no one behind and reaching the farthest point in the SDG framework, we recognize that these are central themes that run through our own Vision 2040. In our constitution, we are supposed to have balanced regional development. We are supposed to move with everybody, and that's why almost all sections of our communities are represented in most of the decision-making platforms, both central government and local government. So when you say leaving no one behind, that is a principle which is of inclusiveness, which is in our constitution, embedded in our constitution. So as we continue to do that, we are working together with our Vision 2040 as we achieve the agenda of 2030 under the UN. Your Excellency, we have no doubt of the commitment of the United Nations and our other partners in our journey to achieve these and other strategies that we will continue to put in place as our journey evolves. I look forward to working with you and the UN in Uganda as we seek to advance Uganda to greater development heights, and I pledge utmost support as an individual, but also as office, but also on behalf of the Prime Minister, though we are also going to create time so that you interact with her as the leader of government business. We have a beautiful country, a beautiful nation, and our people are so hospitable. Of course, with sometimes some small blemishes here and there, but generally we have peace in this country. Culturally, we are supposed to be so hospitable. But for some sections, especially here in Kampala, where technology capitalists have taken advantage of this or the other, you may find that it may not really run across. But when you get out of Kampala, our people are so hospitable, but also hardworking. So we get another African to come and join us in building Uganda. So welcome to Uganda. Can we clap to welcome Her Excellency?
Your Excellency, Honorable Justine Kasule Lumumba, Minister for General Duties and Focal Point Minister for SDGs. Dear colleagues, thank you so much for the really warm welcome. I really look forward to working with you closely and the rest of government in our common aspirations towards the Sustainable Development Goals. I should also extend warm greetings and warm congratulations to you on your assumption as duties of Minister of General Duties. I've been briefed by colleagues, so I'm still new in understanding exactly the work that we've been doing, but I've been briefed earlier today by the head of the SDG Secretariat and also my colleagues, and I'm truly proud of the work that the United Nations has been able to do with the government regarding implementation of SDGs here. It's very clear that there's a structure in place in terms of understanding the progress that we have made, but of course, this is only a structure. We're supporting that structure. But it's the government's own work in terms of promoting the development of its people and implementing its ambitions of development. Of course, Sustainable Development Goals are our collective ambition. We are hoping that we will collectively make sure that we improve the lives of our people, and as we improve the lives of our people today, that our great-grandchildren will also have improved lives. So we're not improving the lives of our people today at the cost of the generations that will come after us. And I think it's very clear in the National Development Plan, the third iteration that Uganda has just produced, that that is the thinking. I'm very glad in terms of the work that we have done to be able to support our tracking of that work, because that's all that it is. It is government's own work in terms of development. My understanding is 90% we aligned NDP and SDGs, but what we are doing is to make sure that we can actually track that work, that the government can actually get due recognition for the work that it is doing, and that we're able to put it, showcase it, as with the voluntary national reports, etc., that I understand has happened. So I'm really pleased to join that effort with colleagues and look forward to working very closely with you. Noted on your comments about COVID, of course, that is something that we know has destabilized our collective plans. It has taken us back. All of us, it has taken us back a little bit in terms of the progress that we were making. And of course, now it calls on all of us to be even more creative and innovative in terms of how we will deal with COVID and still keep on track with our development plans and ambitions. But noted on that. And also really noted in terms of the parish development model. Of course, leaving no one behind is a core principle of the Sustainable Development Goals. We have to make sure that as we advance, we all benefit in the progresses that we're making, that the furthest parts from the capital benefit in the progress that's being made. And your mention of government having an infrastructure in place to actually reach to reach everybody, especially those who are furthest from the capital. I think that's really interesting. I look forward to learning more about that model from colleagues. And it is very good to see, as you also said, that all of these principles and the work are really fully aligned with government's own plans, ambitions, methods already. So thank you once again for the really, really warm welcome. As you will note, I have not spoken that much about what exactly the UN is doing in Uganda at this point, but you will give me opportunity to be able to do that at some future point. I really look forward to developing a close relationship with you and to working collectively on the Sustainable Development Goals in Uganda. Thank you.
Thank you.